And we are in line 2. It says, he also brought me up out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay. And so that pit that he was in, okay, a deep pit, and that miry clay is like a muddy clay. And you know, mud can be kind of wet, all right, kind of sticky. All right, so he was in that. And so almost like a thick kind of quicksand. All right, and that he just like stuck there. And so let's go look at Psalm 69, line 2 and 14, and see, you know, what he says there. Okay, 69, 2, that says, I sink in deep mire where there is no standing. I have come into deep waters where the floods overflow me. So that deep mire is like deep mud. All right, and then in 14, it says, deliver me out of the mire and let me not sink. Let me be delivered from those who hate me and out of the deep waters. All right, so not only was he in that mud, but he was also in water. And so, and sometimes you that's how you feel. You feel like it's like you're stuck, you have nowhere to go, and you see all the flood waters are coming at you, and you know if you don't get delivered soon, you're going to drown. All right, and that's just how he felt. A lot of imagery that he's using as he's going through this trial and this tribulation that he's given to us, and just paint us a picture of how he's feeling. Now let's look at what he said in the C part of 2, and set my feet upon a rock. So he also he's saying that God brought him up out of the horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock. So no longer was he in mud anymore. He was on a rock. And no, rock is tough. You can't move. All right, that's a solid foundation. And not only did God set his feet upon a rock, but he also established his steps. All right, so they couldn't what? So he couldn't move. And so let's look at Psalm 27:5 for reference scripture there. That says, for in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion, in the secret place of his tabernacle, he shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock. And so when you're on that high rock, nobody can get to you. All right. So he said he took him all the way out of the mud, you know, set him on a rock. All right. And not just any rock, but like that, a high rock. All right. So he's away from the mud, and the waters can't even rush and overtake him. So let's look at line 3. He has put a new song in my mouth. Praise to our God. Many will see it and fear and will trust in the Lord. And so what he's saying is that he put a song in his mouth. So he took him out of the mud, set him on a rock. All right. And then he also put a new song in his mouth. And so it gives us a reference scripture to 32:7, Psalm 32:7, that says, you are my hiding place. You shall preserve me from trouble. You shall surround me with songs of deliverance, Selah. All right, and then so when we covered Psalm 32, we read the song of deliverance that was sang in Exodus 15, verse 1. All right, so we're not going to go there since we already covered that already. And then he said also in 33:3, he gives us something that says, sing to him a new song, play skillfully with a shout of joy. All right, so sing to him a new song, play skillfully with a shout of joy. And when God delivers us from something, That's what we need to do. We need to sing a song and we need to shout for joy. And what happened is once people see that God has delivered you, it's like what happens? Many will see it in fear. Like they say, oh, wow. You mean to tell me he was going through all of that and God brought him out? You know, sometimes that would either make people run to God and say, well, I want to serve a God like that. Or the ones who were looking forward to your falling and looking forward to you being in that mud, or even set this trap for you to be in that mud, they're going to fear, like say, well, man, it doesn't matter what I try to do to that person. God is going to always bring them out. Let me just leave them alone. Leave her alone. Because, you know, God is with them. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and break there. And then I'll see you in line 4.